Let's analyze together Blue Power.
Let's go. Let's talk about it. First of all, remember to read the disclaimer right here and also in the description below. Wow, we're in the weekly time frame right there. You can see this price action occurring just right now. Today the price seems to be frozen, but this last movement breaking out this level right here, what do you think about it, Alvaro?
Yeah, we're talking about the biggest support level of Blue Power, taking data from October 2013. So that's a huge, that's a huge time frame. But obviously, after the breakout right here, the situation has changed because I remember, guys, we analyzed this Blue Power stock back in May, and the stock was holding this area, this support level, and it held the area for 7 months. But right now, the breakout has changed everything. And the thing here is like maybe we have to see the latest earnings, to interpret the information that we are watching right now on the screen.
Yeah, and also from the technical side, as usual, you have multiple interpretations. You could have drawn this level a little bit different, and maybe the breakout is happening right now, or you have a different idea from the support levels acting. So let us know in the comments, how do you see this latest price action of Proof Power? Do you think this is like a shift in the market perspective? Because we were talking about the downside from that $77 area of more than 90% to current levels. So obviously the situation wasn't very bullish from these last months. But how do you see this? Do you think this could affect even in a worse way to this company, or do you think this situation will change sooner than later? Let us know in the comments below. And from the fundamental side, we have those earnings, very interesting. Negative surprise factor, 16% for the earnings and 22% for the revenue.
Yeah, interesting to see like everything is in red. All the earnings, surprise factor, always negative in the last 3 years. That's completely insane. But the thing that I'm surprised about is the net income. So let's see together exactly what happened because the net income has improved. It's like the stock right now is going down like crazy because the negative surprise factor. Apparently, we actually Enrique is gonna show us exactly what happened in all the earnings. When they were released and what the stock did afterwards. Because maybe we can see if there is like a pattern right here.
Yeah, exactly. Let's take a look, for instance, since 2018, because we see some interesting data right there. We can go to the weekly time frame to see from a higher perspective. We have the vertical line right here after the price just bounced from this possible support area. And in the daily time frame now, because we can see the earnings right there in the weekly, that was a mistake. We can see the earnings. I'm going to randomly choose a few of them, some of them positive because in 2020 we had two in the positive surprise factor side and others negative. And if you take a look very very fast at this, you can see like the price action is different each time. It doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. I'm not telling that this is not correlated. Of course, that would depend on your type of analysis or how do you interpret this information. But you can see sometimes the price went to the lower side after the earnings were released, and other times it skyrocketed. We can see these ones right here during 2020 and 2021. The price was going higher and higher, and the earnings weren't as good as expected, at least not all of them. And the opposite is also true during the 2021 2022 period right here. The earnings were all negative, but the price was type of ranging. And sometimes after the release of the earnings, the price started to go higher. But the thing is, like at the end, it corrected and went to the lower side. So some people would say, at the end of the day, the theory of the earnings and revenue in the negative side was correct because the price decreased. But the thing is, like, if you were selling since 2019, you would have missed or been selling out with a position in the upper side of more than 5,000%.
Woo! Well, that's
So
huge.
I mean, different perspectives as usual. We just wanted to share this with you to know your opinion about this situation with the earnings, the price action correlation, and all that.
Yeah, but we are not in the very same situation because you take into consideration the data, the net income of those years, and it was like negative, but it was improving. It's like you can clearly see every quarter
Mhm.
it was a little bit better, and actually the best moment of the stock was just before the last one. Because the after the peak level that we had a net income of minus 8 million, and then the minus 40 million. That's when things started to change, and not to mention the December 2020 that was insane, minus 500 million in just one quarter, and the stock is like it started to change dramatically. But yeah, I can see what you're telling. It's like there is some sort of delay in the data.
Yeah, I think it will depend on the interpretation or how do you see that, because in other stocks we saw completely different scenarios, like the earnings were bad but the stock went higher because the hype was there and people were just buying some meme stocks. We saw that. And others also, like the earnings were better but the price didn't change or was kind of in an accumulation period, we could say. And some investors took that as an opportunity, and that's something interesting, because if a stock should be trading higher and it isn't, maybe it is an opportunity. And the opposite also true. If the stock is going higher and it shouldn't be, maybe it's the time to take the profits right there. We are not telling that this is the situation, but there are multiple scenarios, and that's why trading is has a lot of variety and trading styles, in my opinion.
Yeah, but no doubts about it. The stock is not in the best moment. Actually, we are. If we compare the data of 2018, 2019, 2020, we had losses, but not that much. We are talking about right here, right now, 260 minus 262 million. So not the same. We are not comparing apple to apples. But obviously, right now, I think it's like if we go to the forecast, Enrique, the situation, is like we have the analysts of Wall Street very, very optimistic. So, and the look at the EPS forecast and the revenue, it's like they're expecting something better in the coming months.
Yeah, exactly. That forecast right there from that 20 analysts from Wall Street seems very bullish, with that maximum one of 934%, the average 133%, and then the minimum one minus 13%. And then the analyst rating based on 26 analysts stays neutral. But the thing is, like, that forecast obviously is expected to go higher. Thing is, will the reported be in the same way or not? Because if we take a look at 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023, the reported was worse than the estimate. So maybe they expect that this situation will change. We have to wait and see. And I'm curious, to know your opinion in the comments below. Do you agree with this forecast, or do you have different price numbers in your mind? Because you always share some interesting information that we can learn.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Thank you very much, guys. See you in the next video. Leave your comments below. We're gonna read them in the next video of Blue Power.
Let's go. Thank you very much. Have a nice week.